Hello, sixth graders. Hopefully you were able to watch the introduction video that I put in my lesson. It goes a little quickly, but it kind of shows you a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. So the target we're trying to do is I can approximate square roots without a calculator. You're going to be really tempted to use a calculator today, and there are going to be some questions that you can use a calculator on today, but we want to figure out how to approximate square roots without a calculator. There are some standardized tests that will ask you these types of questions, so I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing that I did on my notes packet is I went through and listed some perfect squares. So obviously my first perfect square that I listed was 1, followed by 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. Having a list on the top of your paper as a reference will help you when you're doing these approximations. And obviously how I made this list was I did 1 to the second power, that's 1, 2 to the second power, that's 4, 9 to the second power, 3 to the second power, that's 9, and so on. And I went all the way up to 20 squared, which of course is 400. So this is my list of perfect squares that I can use as a reference. So first thing we're going to be doing today is we're going to be approximating square roots to the nearest integer. And this is most likely what you're going to have to do. We will also approximate them to the nearest tenth, but that's much trickier than just approximating to the nearest integer. So first example says, estimate the square root of 11 to the nearest integer. Well, what I need to think about is what two perfect squares does 11 fall between? And the two perfect squares that it falls between are 9 and 16. So there's the square root of 9, there's the square root of 16, and everything in between here would not be a perfect square. Well, I know the square root of 9 would be 3, so all of these would be 3 point something all the way up until 16, which obviously would be the square root, or the square root of 16 would be 4. So all of these numbers in here are going to be about 3. Now, because 11 falls closer to the square root of 9 than it does to the square root of 16, I would approximate that to the nearest integer, the square root of 11 is approximately 3. Now, of course, if my number were the square root of 15, then that would fall closer to 16, so then I would approximate that to be 4. You just kind of have to see, well, which one does my number fall closer to? And 11 falls closer to 9, so that's why I approximated my answer to be 3. Please try these two on your own. All right, to check these two, the square root of 8 lies between the two perfect squares of 4 and 9. Well, the square root of 4 is 2 and the square root of 9 is 3. 8 lies closer to 9, so that means I would approximate the square root of 8 to be about 3. Now this one's a little bit of a tricky one because I put a negative in front of there. Really doesn't change too much, but you have to just remember the negative in your answer. So the negative square root of 24 falls between negative 16 and negative 25. Well, the square root of negative 16 would be 4, and then all these numbers in between would be leading up to the negative 25 square root, which is negative 5. Because negative 24 square root is closer to negative 25, then I would approximate it to the nearest integer to be about negative 5. Okay, next part, we are going to be approximating square roots to the nearest tenth, and that's what they showed you in the video, so this is going to be a little bit more challenging. First thing, just like last time, you have to find the two perfect squares it lies between. Then it says to make a number line. I've kind of modified this a little bit with two perfect squares and the square roots in between. Divide the distance from the smaller perfect square by the total distance. So I'm going to show you how we did that with this first example. So example 2 says estimate the square root of 22 to the nearest tenth. So first thing, just like before, I had to figure out what two perfect squares this number falls between. And 22 falls between 16 and 25. So if I fill out my number line like this, I see a square root of 16 would be 4, the square root of 25 would be 5, and these numbers in between here would be getting closer and closer to 5, where this one would actually turn into 5. So I know because it's in between here, my first number is going to be 4. Now my decimal part is a little bit trickier to find. To find my fraction, I first take 22 minus 16, which gives me 6. So the distance between 16 and 22, my top number is 6. Then I find this whole distance here. So I take 25 minus 16, that gives me 9. So now my approximate decimal answer would be 4 6/9. Well, when I put 6 inside the house and divide it by 9, I get 0.666 repeating. Well, obviously, rounded to the nearest tenth would estimate my rounded answer to be about 4.7. So the square root of 22 is approximately 4.7. Now is when you could check with your calculator. You can type in the square root of 22, and you should get that it is approximately 4.7. You can pause the video and do these two on your own, or I'll come back and do them with you. All right, so first up, estimating the square root of 11. Square root of 11 lies between 9 and 16. So the square root of 9 is 3, the square root of 16 is 4, so the square root of 11 is going to be approximately 3 point something. Now how I want to find that out? Well, I start with 3. My top number is going to be the distance between 11 and 9. So 11 minus 9 is obviously 2. And then my bottom number is the distance between those two numbers here. So 16 minus 9 gives me 7. So that means my approximate answer would be 3 2/7. Well, when 2 goes inside the house and 7 stays out, I get the decimal 2.285. Well, I just need to round it to the nearest tenth, so I look at the 2, the digit next to it is greater than 5, so that would round to 3.3. So my approximate answer to the nearest tenth of the square root of 11 would be about 3.3. Next on your own one is, what is the approximate answer to the negative square root of 33? Well, the negative square root of 33 lies between negative 36 and negative 25. So it would be approximately negative 5 point something. So then to figure out what that something is, I take 33 minus 25, that gives me 8 for my top number, and then I find the distance between those two numbers, which is 36 minus 25 is 11. Then 8 goes inside the house, 11 stays out, and that gives me 0.7272 repeating. Well, I just need to round it to the nearest tenth, so that would give me negative 5.7 as my estimate for negative square root of 33 to the nearest tenth. Okay, a real life example of this, and again, you can use a calculator on these ones, would be, what is the approximate length of the diagonal of the rectangle to the nearest tenth? So we're reviewing back to the Pythagorean theorem. Now, if you remember back when we did the Pythagorean theorem lesson, all of those turned out to be perfect squares. Well, in real life, you don't always get perfect squares when you're trying to find the length of the diagonal of a rectangle. For example, this one. So I see this is a right angle here. So 10 squared plus 14 squared is going to equal this diagonal, which would be c squared. Well, 10 squared is 100, 14 squared is 196, and that equals c squared. 100 plus 196 gives me 296 equals c squared, and then to get c by itself, I square root both sides. 296 is not a perfect square, so when I square root it, I get 17 point and a decimal, and I just rounded it to the nearest tenth. 17.2 would be my approximate diagonal distance for this example. You can pause the video and do this one on your own if you would like. Okay, a backyard patio is in the shape of a square with a side length of 35 feet. You wish to draw a black line down one diagonal. Approximate the length of the diagonal of the square to the nearest tenth. So just like last time, this is 35 because this is a square. So 35 squared plus 35 squared has to equal c squared. Well, 35 squared is 1225. 35 squared is 1225. When I add those two numbers together, I get 2,450 equals c squared. Well, to undo c squared, I square root both sides. This is not a perfect square, so I approximate it to the nearest tenth to be 49.5. So this diagonal distance here would be approximately 49.5 feet. Today's homework assignment is again a worksheet. And it does say on top that you can not use a calculator. So let's try not to use a calculator for these unless you want to check your answer. You can use a calculator for number 10 if you would like, but I would really rather you do the approximations without a calculator. So question number 1 says describe a method of approximating the square root of 32. Well, 32 lies between the perfect squares of 25 and 36. But it is closer to 36, which is a square root of 6. So I would say the square root of 32 is about 6. Question number 2 says estimate the square root to the nearest integer. So square root of 46 lies between the perfect squares of 36 and 49. 46 is closer to 49, which the square root of 49 is 7, so I would say the square root of 46 is about 7 for the nearest integer. Now for questions 3, 4, 5, and 6, you are just going to be approximating it to the nearest integer. On the back, questions 7, 8, 9, and 10 are the ones you are going to be estimating it to the nearest 10. If you need to go back and watch what I did on the video, please go ahead and do that. It will help you. Or, of course, if you have any questions, please just let me know, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.